Hey guys, Neck Cutter One here, or Chris if you want to be less formal about it. Anyways, this is my main channel. If you're here for the cat channel, that's in the channel section, Pewpaws. That's probably our most popular channel. We have like 1 million views on that. Or if you're here for our band, Near the Cross, our Gothic Christian rock band, that's pretty good too. But this is something different. This is something I'm doing an experiment here, and I don't know, it might help somebody, but I have this really annoying problem where when I got my acute liver injury and I had something called hepatic encephalopathy, that's hard to say. I think they named it that because, and you can tell you have it if you can't pronounce it, hepatic encephalopathy. And what that happens is you've got poisoned blood with ammonia in it, and it goes up to your brain, and it makes you get kind of, delusional or forgetful. And I noticed that was happening to me when it happened. I went to my doctor and I said, I don't know if this is related to my liver disease, but I am not as sharp as I used to be. I was fumbling over words, words I would use normally, and I couldn't remember things. The one that I remember telegraphing in a video game I was playing, they were talking about quit telegraphing. The other guy knows what you're doing. I couldn't remember that. I couldn't remember just words that I use in everyday conversation or talking to clients. And so I knew there was something off in my brain. And they said, sure enough. So they gave me some medication, and that cleared. The medication didn't clear it up. The medication really just helped me write it out and not have that do any permanent damage to me, because you can actually go into a coma or die from, all the ammonia going to your brain. But it helped. It got rid of that. It absorbed all of the ammonia out of my blood, so it kept me safe. And then as my liver recovered, that problem went away. But here I am over 2 years later, and I had this issue, and I haven't talked to my doctor about it. And I only just realized it was an issue recently because I thought it was something else. I kept constantly smelling a bad smell. And it's not like a BO, like, oh, is that me? It's nothing you would confuse with your own scent of not showering or coming in sweaty after the gym or something. It smelled like car exhaust. Like if you were working in the garage and you had the car running and you smelled that smell of hot metal exhaust, it smelled like that. And I would normally smell it when I was in here at my computer area. So here's my computer area, and I'm surrounded by all of these monitors, right? And then this machine is open air. So I thought, wow, maybe there's something going on. Maybe in that machine there's something that stinks, or maybe it's these monitors might have dust up here in these vents or something like that. So at any rate, got back around. I couldn't figure out what it was, and I took the computer apart and I blew it out, the dust. I do that anyway. I do IT for a living and work on computers, and so I know to do that, but I blew out all the dust and the smell returned. And then I rebuilt the computer. I thought, well, maybe it's something that's gone bad in the computer. I've overclocked it and all these other things. And opportunity came to upgrade my computer anyways. And so I did. And lo and behold, the same smell came back. So then I started thinking, what if it's not an odor I'm having? I had my wife smell me. I said, honey, what do I smell like? And she said, you smell like you, and you smell like the deodorant you wear, and you smell quite nice. And I was very flattered by that. But I knew then it wasn't my own odor, which I didn't ever think it was, and I knew it wasn't my machine. I know it's not my imagination, so I went to ChatGPT, and I said, okay, this is what's going on. And it narrowed it down, and it said, this is quite common. First it said all the things that I told you. Well, is the car running in the garage next to your, where you're working at? Of course not. So after narrowing it down for about 10 minutes, and I was asking very pointed questions, trying to give, okay, I have this medical history and da-da-da-da-da. And it said, oh yeah, that totally lines up with this disease that you have. And so I have this disease, and it is a phantom smell, and it's a leftover from the hepatic encephalopathy. So I have a phantom smell, guys. So the smell is in my head. It's an imaginary smell. So I'll be sitting here, and all of a sudden, it smells like I'm sitting in a garage full of exhaust. I guess the other smells that happen, and that is one of the smells that is described as burning exhaust or burning electronics. So yeah, ChatGPT to the rescue. So I'm like, great, I have a defective brain. What else is new? So it told me this is what I have to do to fix it. have to get essential oils. And so I went on, I just typed in reset olfactory, and olfactory is what the medical term is for our smelling sensation and probably the way it relates to our brain. I didn't study it too much before I made this video. But as we go along, and I do this a couple times and we see if it's having a good effect on me, in which case I could say, hey guys, this is how I overcame this, which is the point of this video. Or we could just laugh about it if it doesn't fix me and, I don't know, give me a funny nickname about it. But I typed in reset olfactory and Amazon took me right to these essential oils. So then I saw, okay, this is not a common thing, but it's not unheard of. So I didn't want to wait and order on Amazon. I went to Walmart and these are what I got. And I'm not going to lie. I went to the dollar store first to see if I could get away with buying it cheaper, but they didn't have anything like this there. But it gave me an excuse to get some candy anyway. So anyway, I'm going to be trying these, and I'm supposed to do it two times a day, where I pick 4 of these that are distinct from each other. And then I have to smell them for 10 to 20 seconds. I have to close my eyes and visualize, do a little like meditation. This isn't magical, just so you guys know. I am a Christian person, and I don't delve into anything esoteric. There won't be any mantras, or there's nothing, no burning sage or crystals or anything involved. This is 100% medical. Going to be smelling these and closing my eyes and imagining the smell and getting to know that smell really well. So when I look at the sweet orange smell, I'm going to be telling my brain, I'm imagining, hey, this is a sweet orange smell, nose. When you smell that, tell my brain, sweet orange. And then I got to give it a break. And then I go to the next one, which is going to be, I guess, peppermint is what I'm pointing out. So we'll use that. So you see how we're retraining our brain to understand the smell that we're getting. What do we want to tell what should my sniffer tell my brain what it just smelled? And once you do that, it says for 12 weeks. I'm not going to make 12 of these videos. If I all of a sudden have a great sense of humor and a charming personality, I will make all kinds of videos of this. But I don't have that, and I also don't have a lot of time. What I'll probably do is just give you a check-in as I'm going and let you know if there's been any, I guess, progress on it, if I'm getting the symptoms less or less, or if all of a sudden one day it's just gone. I'll know it's gone because I smell this once a day. And amazingly, it's almost at the same time every day, which led me to believe, oh, this must be the computer, because this is when I sat at my computer. But, you know, it could follow how long I've been awake for, or it could follow what I ate during that time. I really don't know what brings it on, but I do know I'm sick of it. So I'm going to go ahead and open these guys up. I know this is the weirdest thing to ever make a video about. I'm usually trying to show you guys me doing something fun like riding a bicycle. If you're someone that doesn't know me in real life, most of these videos I make for my friends and family. I live in Texas now, and I'm from California, but don't tell anybody. I got here as soon as I could. So I make this to keep in touch with my friends and family, but more views are welcome. I don't think I'm ever going to be monetized or anything, but if this ever helps anybody, that would be great. Oh, and also my cat videos are great. The Pew Paws channel, that is a for monetization channel, and people like the cats, and our band Near the Cross. If you like Christian music or Gothic music, this is a blend of both. Anyway, we're going to get started here. This is the sweet orange. So let's see if I do it for, I'm just going to, about 10 seconds, I guess. All right, that smells. I had a hepatic ulcer. I'm sorry. I had an ulcer, and I can't eat oranges now because of that ulcer until I know it's healed. So I miss oranges, but that's what that tastes like. Someone in the comments help me. What kind of ulcer? What's the common one? That's the one I have. Whatever that common one is, it's not hepatic. Okay, next, guys, I think we're going to move over to the... It says it needs to be really distinct from the other one, and I think that the lemongrass might be too close to the orange, so I'm going to move to the eucalyptus. Let's see what the eucalyptus smells like. That actually does smell like cat pee. All right, that's eucalyptus. I think I remember, that smells like a childhood smell. Did my mom cook with that, or did we have that in the house? Because it was part of my life. My parents were in like a hippie phase. Not like a dirty hippie phase, but you know, like beads hanging in the kitchen through the door, through the doorway, or just a little bit of 70s or late 60s, I guess, stuff. I'm from the 1900s. Okay, guys, next I'm going to do, I think, the peppermint. That's going to be distinct from both the orange and the eucalyptus. We're going to try this peppermint. Ooh. That actually smells good. That smells like a piece of candy I want to eat. You know what it smells like? I keep Tic Tacs in my car in case I ever have to talk to a customer or a stranger and might not have the best breath. This tastes like how Tic Tacs smell. Tic Tacs! See, I got TikTok brain. This is how TikTok smells. I'm totally not going to edit this video either. You guys are going to get it with all of my mistakes. Ooh, yeah, I like that. That's the best one so far. All right, and now I've got these three that I'm not looking forward to. I got lemongrass, tea tree, lavender. I guess I'll do lavender. It doesn't sound like I want to smell it, but maybe I'll like it. Let's find out. Ugh. Yeah. Sorry. I gotta smell this one a little bit further away. I'm just imagining what I look like on the camera right now. Okay, I don't really care for that smell, but I better get a little bit more. It's not offensive in any way, but it just, the other things I feel like they were something that you could eat, okay? The sweet orange, it smelled like something I could eat. The peppermint smells like something I could eat. The eucalyptus sounds like something that maybe you season food with. The lavender, this is like a pure form of something I think you would wash my clothes in. Or I would wash my clothes in if I wasn't married. She's going to see this and smack me. All right, so there it is, guys. We're going to do this a couple times. I don't have the time, and I doubt that anybody has the interest in seeing me do this every time. But I will check in from you from time to time, and I'll let you know if all of a sudden, like, what if the phantom smell changes? What if all of a sudden I smell something like, oh, now I have this phantom smell that smells even worse? Or what if it's a phantom smell that smells good and I just live with it? I'm like, oh, yeah, now I get this phantom smell of chocolate all the time, then I'll probably just pause that. But anyway, this was $18.88 at Walmart, by the way. I don't know if they're better or worse than the ones that were $30 on Amazon for a 4-pack. These are definitely less fancy looking, but I'm not a very fancy person. So thanks for watching, you guys. Comment if you think that this is anything that you've ever heard of, or if I got any of my facts wrong. I wrote this whole big script on the screen here, but you know, the last time I did anything featuring me in front of a screen, we had a teleprompter and all that, and so I'm just sitting in front of my screen, and I don't think it's very conducive to me reading, so I just did this on the fly. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next time.